Okay. The huge. I think I'm live. Um, Welcome to the monthly live stream. If you're watching live, chat. And if you're watching not live, you can comment in your comments and I will try to get back to you with anything you have to say. So I don't know, I don't know, I feel like I like tripped and I like already talked about this stuff, but like I must not have because like this is the monthly live stream, but maybe I'm just losing my mind because when I was going through, I was like, I feel like I already like highlighted these wins, some of them when I was like going through my book, and then I was going to talk about them here. But I think I'm just losing my mind because it's summer in LA, and it's this is the July recap, but like it's now August. It's just hot and like dry, and I'm literally feeling thirsty saying these things. So I'm gonna have my ancient water bottle. Water shouldn't go bad, right? In water. It's been sitting here. It's fine. Microplastics are already everywhere, so whatever. But I'm just like, it's summer, and I feel like everyone's brain is breaking. And I know that although I do miss the East Coast, it is humid there, and at least it's not humid here. But it's also really hot here, and some of my coworkers like going to Vegas and stuff, and it's like even hotter there, and we're all just at war with ourselves in the heat. And when I film, I have to turn off the air conditioner, but I'm hoping because it's the evening, it shouldn't get like too much toastier. So hopefully I don't start like sweating profusely during this live stream. Anyways, you're here for the month. Well, maybe you're not, but if you are watching and someone is watching, I can tell, um, then it's a month of Lauren's life. And, you know, some months are more exciting than others. I feel like this July, this past month was pretty exciting. It helped that my mom came to visit, and that was very exciting because we like did a lot of stuff together. And I had like a friend. I mean, I have friends, but like I had someone to like go out with me and do all these things because sometimes I actually do things by myself because like our schedules don't always align. But my mom was here to visit me, so obviously our schedules were going to align. Also, I feel like I should fix the framing. There we go. I also did get a new comforter, but I haven't changed it yet. I'm going to do that this weekend. It's my big plan, like fresh start. I'm not sure who does fresh starts for August, but Lauren is, I guess. And then I also was cat sitting this month, which was thrilling. Oh, I know. I probably talked a bit about how my life is going in my mental health video. Smart me. Um, yeah, so I was cat sitting, which was very fun. It honestly like really reinvigorated my desire to have a pet, foster again and everything. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to like take that jump with my work schedule and everything, you know, going on in my life. I feel like for like 2 weeks I could dedicate time to the pet. But and you know, I'm trying to get my life together, but it was so nice. And honestly, for a bit afterwards, it was like the apartment felt so empty, even though like she's a cat and she was a vocal cat. If you watch any of the videos, like she's meowing. But you know, she's not like talking to me for multiple hours at a time, right? We're not having a combo. Although there were some times when I would like meow and she would meow back, and I was like, oh my God, like we are speaking, we are connected, even though I doubt that was really happening. Or if I was saying something, I was saying something super, super stupid. But I don't know, just like, oh my God, I need a pet. And then, of course, like my cousin sends me pictures of her cat. My uncle have a cat, the cat that I used to foster. And it's like, oh my gosh. And my mom sends pictures and videos of the dog. And anyways, cat sitting was a joy, but it was also kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like I want a pet. But I also am like, well, it's a big responsibility. I volunteer at the animal shelter, right? And when I talk to the different people, to be fair, I'm more of like the dog side, but it's not just like you want a pet, right? Are you willing to commit the time? Because sometimes people have to return animals for whatever reason. And we want to avoid that at all possible, right? Like, we want to be the best possible fit for you and for the animal because, like, the animal deserves the best. I mean, you also deserve the best. Like, I also deserve the best, but the animal especially does. Okay. But, anyways, with that whole preamble out of the way, I didn't really do anything the first couple days of July, like, because everyone was just excited for the 4th of July, mostly because it's a holiday. Like, whether or not you are feeling patriotic about America right now, which I get, it was a day off work for a lot of people. So everyone likes a day off work. Like, I don't know a single person who's like, oh, rats, I don't have to work today. So I was more than happy to not have to work because my mom was also visiting, right? So it was like extra fun. And I wasn't sure exactly what we were gonna do until, like, basically the day of when I came up with a master plan, and we went to the Hollywood Reservoir, which I'd never been to before. I'd been to the Hollywood sign hike from, like, the back from the wizardry and, like, sort of from the front, and heard of the reservoir, but I hadn't actually been there, and I was actually kind of shocked. Like, the Hollywood sign looks super far away, but, like, there's actual water. I mean, obviously, there's actual water there, right? But I was still kind of floored because I think of LA as so dry. Like, we look at the LA River and it's like, that's a river? Like, it's dirt. Like, I saw a joke on Twitter where it was like picturing, you know how like the Olympics in Paris where they're like going through the Seine? It's like, imagine that going through the LA River. And I was just like dying of laughter because the river is pathetic looking. I mean, it's built so that way if there is a lot of rain, then it helps kind of with like the irrigation and trying to prevent flooding, which still sort of, still happens. But it's just like it's so sad looking. I just don't associate LA as having any water in it, just like the ocean. That's the water. But anyways, there was this reservoir and it was a very nice walk, actually. Like, I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be not a nice walk, but just I hadn't done it before. So it's like I wasn't sure what to expect. But it was honestly very lovely. And this was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. It was like a beehive, and it was called a Hollywood Airbnb. Like, this is kind of bee, which like good job, man or woman or person, whoever. Like, that is funny and cute. Though we didn't see any bees in the beehive, but it looked like there was evidence they'd been there. So maybe they were just like vacationing or working. Maybe they didn't have the day off work and they were actually like collecting pollen to make honey or something. I'm not totally sure. But anyways, so that was nice. And then because we still had like plenty of day left, we went to like the Glendale Galleria Americana area so we could poke around, do a little do a little mall shopping and kind of browsing around. And then the Galleria, sorry, not the Galleria, the Americana has like the pretty fountain and everything. So that was just very lovely. And there were a lot of people just also enjoying the day. It was a hot, I would say warm hot, but it wasn't sweltering. Like it could definitely have been worse. But my mom and I were very happy when we were in the Galleria part because that's air conditioned to walk around in the air conditioned mall because it's like, oh, I'm about to yawn. Ah, I feel without fail, I yawn during live streams. And like I do yawn during life in general, but it always feels like it happens when I'm streaming. And it's annoying. Like it's 7 p.m. right now. I thought I would try to like attack from the front and like stream a little. I don't know what's the last time I streamed actually, like what time of day, but I feel like I often find I'm streaming like a little later. And I thought it would be beneficial and behoove the situation to try to stream like earlier in the evening, but I still have to like finish work and everything. But oh my god, hi. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good evening and you're also, not just yawning at 7 p.m. But in my defense, at least, like I do not sleep that well. And I'm on a medication to help me sleep, but like it's still not fab. It's funny. I was like doing my wellness journal where I did like my monthly check-ins, and I had to like one of the questions every month, like there's a different like deep dive section, and one of the questions for the past month was like, how would you rate your sleep and how can you improve it? And it's like, well, my sleep's like fine to well, depending on the night, but I'm on prescription sleep medication. So, like, I don't know how to improve it more. Like, I like the one that I'm on. It works with my other meds. Like, I'm not about to get like a new med again, ideally. So, like, how am I supposed to make my sleep any better? So that's my explanation and excuse for why I yawn. Anyways, I don't sleep that well, and I'm already trying my best because I literally already take a sleep aid. But anyways, that was a lot of another, ramble about one yawn. But now I've jinxed it. Like it's gonna happen again. And then we're still on the 4th of July. We didn't get any further in the month because I didn't talk about the fireworks. At first, I don't think my mom and I were planning on seeing fireworks because she wasn't like, I have to go see them. But I think my like sad disappointment of like, oh, we're not seeing the fireworks. Like I think it worked because then my mom was doing some research on fireworks and we ended up seeing them. Yay. And we went like sort of not at the Starlight Bowl, but there's like a fire department and a hill, and we like sat on the hill to see the fireworks. And this is like a thing. Like other people were there. There were even like vendors like selling some stuff eventually. So it wasn't like we're the only people on this random hill. And it was quite exciting. I love me a firework. Like I did bring my earplugs just in case they were too loud. I ended up feeling fine. I didn't need them. But sometimes, you like to have earplugs. At least for me, I get migraines. So like we're not trying to have a migraine from watching fireworks because that would just be like the most depressing thing ever. And I thought it was a nice show. Someone like complained that it was too short. I think it was probably like 10, 15 minutes maybe. And it's like they are free fireworks. Like, what are you going on about? Like, relax. Like, if you wanted a bigger show, pay to go to one of the bigger shows. Like last year, my sister and I went to Universal on the 4th of July and we saw the fireworks over Harry Potter World. And there was also like the drone show. So, yeah, that was a longer experience. But we obviously paid to go to Universal, right? So, relax. Like if you're going to see free fireworks from where you are, don't complain. And I know that's big of me because I complain about free stuff all the time. But I feel like fireworks I won't complain about because it's just, at least for me, it's so weird to actually see them. I do feel like I hear them sometimes randomly, like not even and feel like boom pow lights in the sky moment that often. So I'm not gonna complain. And then the next day was a Friday, so I had to go back to work, which was devastating. But we made do because Saturday was like the big day, right? The big, not like the big day, but almost the big Kahuna day because we went to Sequoia National Park and I did make, I think, a couple like shorts about it. I was thinking about doing like a regular, like full style vlog, but then I was like, no, though I do want to get like more into that again, but I was not doing it for Sequoia because I just wanted to like mostly spend the time with my mom and the trees and just feel like one with the woods. It was a long drive, but as I think I said, I've definitely said before, like my mom was a champ and drove the whole way there, which was very impressive. I did offer to drive sometimes, like I checked in because I can drive. I just don't like. It was really early when we left, and then I'm just like, I'm not a. I don't love driving. I can drive. I have my license. Never got into an accident. But yeah, my mom was a champion. She did all the driving, and it was so pretty. Like I know I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Like it was so pretty. I mean, first of all, we saw the biggest tree in the world by volume of wood, which is sick. And then we just saw like so many pretty trees in general. I mean, like gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. I mean, I like trees. Like I love trees actually. I really one of the things I like don't love about being in LA is there aren't like woods. I miss the forest. And maybe that's because growing up, I grew up in a North Jersey suburb, right? Like there's trees. We grew up in the reservation. We would go to like the woods all the time there, hikes, etc. And there's just like not trees here like that. And these were obviously different trees than what I would see in New Jersey because they're the sequoias, right? But it was just so like awe-inspiring and I just felt so enriched with nature and the world. And also it smelled really good because it was like fresh, not like a pine smell, but like, woodsy, like extremely woodsy smell. And even though there were a lot of people there, especially by like the big touristy parts, like by the General Sherman tree, there were lots of trails. And honestly, because the park is, I guess, like big enough, and maybe a lot of people also like don't go on some of the smaller trails. Like even we went on this like giant tree loop, and I thought that'd be more popular because it was sort of close to the other stuff, and it wasn't that populated. So you really felt like you were more like at peace in the woods, and it was just glorious. Honestly, it was so nice, and I'm so happy that my mom like was like, "Hey, you got to bring the big camera," because I almost wasn't going to because sometimes it can get really heavy with the lenses. But I'm so happy that I brought my big camera because I got great pictures, and I just felt so connected to the trees. um, though unrelated, but speaking of like the stamina and like carrying the big lunch and getting heavy, I do have a new plan to like exercise a bit more and get some cardio now that build muscle now that I feel like I'm like eating better again and stuff because my sister and I are going to New Zealand and I have to get in a little better physical shape so that I can carry my big camera, my big lenses around because I'm not going to my dream Lord of the Rings trip and like not taking big pictures with the big camera, right? So we got to get in shape for that. And by we, I mean me. I mean, my sister is also going to be doing a little bit of like fitnessing, but she somehow was like her like baseline level of fitness is just somehow like magically some level of fitness. Like I don't have that list of like magical baseline fitness that she seems to have. And I would love to in a way because I don't know, it just, like, would seem really convenient, but at the same time, like, I accept that we all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and one of my weaknesses is that I am weak, right? So it's fine. It's fine. We'll get there. Anyways, I have, like, so many pictures from Sequoia. Sunday, we had a way more, like, chill day because I had to go to work again on Monday, and, uh we can only do so many things after like all the steps and the driving to Sequoia. So we went to the animal shelter and it was hot. It was so hot that day. But we had one of my like favorite dogs, Blue. He's a husky. He went in the pool. And it was so cute. And by pool, I mean like it's a little pool that we kind of have to fill up. Mostly we have to fill it up so often, not because the water evaporates that fast, but because sometimes the dogs will like jump in it, which is cute, or they like somehow kick over the pool, like the little kiddie pool, and then the water gets everywhere. And it's like, great, now we have to fill it up again for you. But it was very sweet that he like laid in it. Because he is a Alaskan Malamute, so he's like pretty puffy. I do brush him a lot. I'm not sure, like, I don't actually know if like brushing a dog makes them feel cooler, like if they have excess fur. It feels like it should help if they have like excess fur, like insulating the warmth. That if they like, they get brushed and it kind of comes out, that then that would be more regulated. But I don't actually know. But there are a few people I think at the shelter who like are regular dog brushers, and I'm definitely like one of them because I think it's can be kind of a pain, especially as we're not allowed to let like the fur, like to the best of our abilities, we have to kind of gather the fur and then throw it away. We're not supposed to just kind of like let it go into the ether. And especially for some of the bigger dogs and like the really fluffy ones or the puffy ones, it can be a lot of fur and it can get like everywhere and you have to like pick it up and it's a process. So I don't blame people. And also, I think some of the big dogs, people are afraid or just like more nervous. But Blue is, even though he's huge, he's actually super gentle. But like the first time I interacted with him, I was nervous because I wasn't sure how his behavior was going to be. Um, I mean, he's always seemed very sweet getting treats, but I was like, oh, if he's like going to be like really hyper, like it's hard to like calmly brush a really hyper dog who just wants to run around. But Blue likes to do one lap of sniffing and then lay down. And usually he gets a belly rub. I did also have to give him a belly rub after he had been in the pool, which was not fun because he was like soaking wet. And I was like, but he's a dog at the animal shelter. I'm obviously gonna give him a belly rub if he wants one. Um, it was just annoying. And by annoying, I mean it was fine. I just had to wash my hands. And I washed my hands anyways after like multiple times at the shelter. So it wasn't a big deal. It was just like wet. But it's fine because then he looked at me like this. And then it was all worth it, right? Because he's so cute. He also avoided this treat, which I forgot about until I saw it lurking in the back. He like had half of it and then was like, I'd rather just sit in the water, which, I respect. It was hot and he had a lot of fur. And then we were gonna go to this like street market kind of fair thing in by Melrose, but it turned out that you had to pay like a small entry fee to go, and it was to raise money for like the high school that it was sort of in the parking lot of and like grounds. But we were like, we're not doing this because we weren't planning on like buying anything. We were just kind of maybe we'd buy something. But we can't like poke around. So we just walked around like the Melrose. Ended up getting a pair of Doc Martens, purple ones that my mom got me, and they're gorgeous. I would wait. Do I have a picture? I'm not sure if I have a picture on my phone, but they were stunning. Like just so pretty. They are stunning. I have them, and I got so many compliments on them the first time I wore them. Like I was literally in the elevator to go into the office, and I got a compliment. I was like, wow, I haven't even stepped into the office yet for real. Like, this is the elevator and I'm getting compliments. And then we also got rolled ice cream. My mom had never gotten rolled ice cream before. So I was very excited for to see the process. Um, it's just so fascinating to me, like how it works. It's like weird to watch, but it's cool. And like part of what you're getting, like, is the whole like random, like watching it happen versus like a regular ice cream place, they just kind of scoop it up. Though similarly, I guess like Cold Stone, how they sort of try to make it like a weird presentation where they like drop it on and mix it up and smash it on the stone, right? But this is like a different experience, but it was very bougie. And for some reason, it also came with a Pocky stick and a toasted marshmallow, like in the ice cream, which I've never seen before, but like I'm not gonna complain about like a Pocky stick and a marshmallow. It's just weird. Sadly though, my mom did leave early into the week because she'd been there for a week and my poor father was gonna like starve without her basically because he like he my mom is the chef there, but it's okay. And also Cal would miss her. So I was sad when she left because she could have stayed as long as forever as long as I was concerned. First of all, I said another shout out to my mom. She really, I mean, I did like a pre-clean of the apartment because I didn't want her to be like, oh my God, Lauren. But then she cleaned it even more. And I was like, wow, really momming it up over here. And she cooked food, which was great because if you've been onto my channel for a bit or for a while, I'm not that great in the kitchen. I'm working on it. I'm working on my kitchen cooking avoidance and fear. But she's not afraid of the kitchen. So it is nice to have more like fresher food from someone who's not afraid of the kitchen. Um, one day I will not be afraid of the kitchen, but right now it's a tolerant, it's a love-hate relationship because I love food, but I don't like cooking it. But I can't afford to have like delivery or and I just certainly can't afford like a private chef. So we make do. We make do. Also, I think I've said this a million and four times in like various videos and stuff, but we also hit 3,000 subscribers on this channel, which was crazy. And thank you so much if you're watching and you're a subscriber, or if you're thinking about being a subscriber. I still thank you for watching because that's wild to me. That it's I've hit 3,000 subscribers. That may not be like a big number to some people, but for me, it's a huge number because I've been uploading for a long time and it's gone like in and out of being something I feel like I can dedicate more or less time to based off like college or work or my own life dramas and my like mental health crises. But just like through it all, like at least I've been like doing something and to see any kind of like milestone like that is really cool. So thank you so much for supporting. And as I always say, or I try to say a lot, like if you have any ideas of things you want me to like make content about, like let me know in the comments. And if I can, I will. Sometimes I feel like there's things I would love to do, like can't necessarily like I wish I could do like real travel vlogs again. That's like my goal to get back into that. I know I like literally didn't do that for Sequoia, but as I also have said, if I don't see people a lot, I don't really like the times that I do spend with them to also be kind of vlogging because it feels like then it's like me, my family, my friend, whoever it is, and like the camera. And I'd rather have more time like focusing on them. But when they're people that I see more often, then it feels less like weird to be also vlogging. And then it's fun to watch that stuff back because it's like memories that have been captured. So it kind of can go both ways. But anyways, all that to say, like I really want to do more of that. But you kind of need to like do things to vlog successfully, I feel like. Because I just can't like how many days in the lives could I do considering like I work in the office pretty much every day. So it's like I can't film in the office like working. So it's like, oh, I'm at the office, and then like be like the SpongeBob thing where it's like hours later, oh, now I'm leaving. So you know what I mean. But if I could like go and do more stuff, I would like to do that more. But other ideas, more like social commentary videos, mental health stuff, let me know. Let me know. Back at the animal shelter, apparently, I'm like looking through my videos. Oh, and then the cat sitting. The Jewel, Nami, the cat. She's so cute. Obsessed. Obsessed. And I'm just still honored that my friend thought of me to cat sit because it was great. And yeah, little furry friend. The only thing that was like not so great was one Saturday when I was cat sitting, obviously, I woke up. And I did not wake up actually. I was awoken. I was woken up by her stepping on me, like politely, but not like biscuits, right? Like stepping on me. And it was like 7 a.m. And she had not done that during the week, which I don't wake up at 7 a.m. for work anyways. But like at least that's a weekday. She woke me up at 7 a.m. on Saturday. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? It's the weekend. I guess she doesn't know what weekends are, but she should learn because I was not thrilled about that. And then I closed the door so she couldn't get back in because I was like, we're not dealing with this right now. And she was like, I want breakfast, right? It's like, it's not your breakfast time. You're not getting breakfast at 7 a.m. on Saturday because Lauren's going back to bed to the best of my abilities, anyways. And then, yeah, just like more cat stuff, apparently. I did try to focus like when I had more like I didn't try to make as many sort of other plans when I was cat sitting because I wanted to be able to devote lots of time to the cat. One, because I think she should have, time with a human. And two, because I want to spend time with the cat, right? They went both ways again. Number see, I have so many cat pictures from this 1 week or 2 weeks. Wow, it's pretty impressive. The one thing that I thought was, like, kind of more not, like, unexpected and random for me to do was that I went to the Women in Post pop-up at the Sound Labs, in Burbank for sound demo sessions and, like, networking, and that was actually really fun. I was nervous about that because I know some people who are in Women in Post or the HPA, but I wasn't actually sure who was going to this event. And I know like the whole point of a networking event is that you network with like you meet other people, but I was still a little nervous because I do feel like I am like younger and newer to the industry. So even if I like, go up to talk to people, like it feels like everyone knows so much more than me and has so much more experience than me. But it was really nice. I mean, first of all, we do get like name tags where we say like our name and where we work. It doesn't say what our job is, but it says like our name or work. So at least people kind of be like, oh, hello, versus you're like, I don't even know their name. I know nothing about them. And you just kind of like hide. So that was really nice. And we got to watch a sound demo by this guy, Scott G. I don't remember what his last name was. I just know it's over the G. And he did the sound design and everything for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And he did a little demo of that, which was fascinating. First of all, that movie was fascinating. And the sound part was exceptional. Like he was explaining how he made the sounds for like the dogfish using like kind of blowing into glass like bottles and everything, and how he made all the different wood sounds by using a lot of wood from musical instruments, which was just like, whoa. I mean, his mind, I would love to see like how he experiences just life, right? Hearing all these different sounds all the time and wondering like, I wonder how we could maybe recreate that or do something else with it or make a sound that he sort of never heard before. And now we're going to associate with this mythical being or this like extinct creature or whatever. So it's just really fascinating. And it honestly was like very re-inspiring for me about the industry because I feel as though it's been really much of a downer with, I mean, the ratification of the IATSE contract is at least, there's not going to be more strikes for now, but like the industry feels like it hasn't really picked back up, to the point like pre-pandemic or pre the strikes from last summer. And it can feel like it's just like sort of depressing when you also look and see what's in theaters. And there's so many, what I would consider to be like bad sequels and beyond and just these crazy franchises. And like, there's no new ideas. And there are some great sequels. Like I loved Inside Out too. I thought that was really good. And Twisters is like a sort of a reboot sequel type thing. And that I thought Twisters was great. So I'm not saying that he's like a franchise or a sequel is always bad, but it feels like sometimes they're just like making stuff and like there's gonna be a Shrek 5. I think Shrek's great, but like Shrek 5, like where's like the new ideas and there's just like endless Marvel movies, all this stuff. And I don't know, it can feel like just like where's the industry going? And people are just getting laid off all the time. So then to like witness someone who like loves what they do so much and is so excited about doing that and creating like an experience for people to like really feel and hear in their souls was just reinvigorating basically. And that was like pretty much then the end of the month. Went back to the animal shelter again. I go to the animal shelter frequently. Finished, kind of cat sitting journey with Nami. And that's like basically it. I did make a quesadilla on the stove, which may not sound like a highlight or worth mentioning, but I was literally just talking about how I'm like so terrible in the kitchen. So to me, that was a big win. And the last day of July, me and some of my friends, we went out to dinner and we got ice cream, and that was very nice. I do enjoy like going out to dinner with people, but I don't go out to dinner like as much as I would like because again, it's expensive to like go out to eat all the time, as like I think would make sense. Like I think most people, who have jobs, but live in an expensive place like LA, you can't go out to eat all the time, sadly, because that would solve a lot of my problems. It really would. But we take things one day at a time. And so overall, I feel like it was a pretty good month. I feel as though like my energy levels, I know I yawned at the beginning, but I feel like my energy levels overall are doing better. Probably because I've been like eating more and like just feeling a bit more like in tune with, Lauren as the self. And I'm really like kind of also shocked by how quick the year is going. It did feel like there was a period when I was like very depressed. It was like everything was slow, motion slog, and I was like crying all the time, obviously. And I definitely cried a bit this month, but like nowhere near as much as I like sort of had been crying. So that's a big thumbs up there. That's like great news for me. Amazing news. I didn't like go through an insane amount of tissues, but it's just wild that it's like, oh my God, it's now August already. And what am I gonna do? Like, what have I done? What am I doing with the rest of the year? And I do have my goals that I did a check-in with, and some of them making progress on, some of them making not so much progress on. But I'm really just trying to be nice to myself about the ones I haven't made like really progress on because I'm sure everyone, it's like a tough year. And maybe it's a tough year for everyone every year. But, that doesn't mean I don't think we should be setting goals for ourselves. But if I can't achieve a goal that I've set for myself that has no real world repercussions, except that like I can't get what the little reward that I told myself I could get as like a bonus present to me, like, okay, we can relax there a bit, Lauren. It's fine. And if you can accomplish your goal, that's great. And if you have to adapt a goal, that's great too. Like there's no shame in having other priorities pop up basically. And that's something I've been really like working to get in tune with myself because I'm someone who kind of has struggled with like academic validation, right? Needing to get like all A's. And now I'm in life and like I don't really get A's because like I'm not in school anymore. So there's not like grades the same way. And kind of feel like certain goals is like me grading myself. And it's like, okay, we need to take it back here and look at the picture holistically, right? Um, holistic approach to living. It just sounds so bougie when I say the word holistic. I had to say it multiple times. And yeah, I'm just working on like accepting that about me and that, sometimes you can't get A's in all aspects of life. You have to drop electives and pick new classes to keep the school metaphor going. And that's hard, but it will be okay. And that's like pretty much it, I guess. I am more thirsty. I really literally forgot that I had water. I think I had one sip of it. And I was like, great water. And then I forgot about it. But I hope for those of you watching live and for those of you who may watch later, that your month has been at least okay and that you're feeling hopeful for that you can do something in the rest of the year and beyond. For me, I'm feeling hopeful about the American election coming up. I hadn't been feeling very optimistic, but I am feeling a bit more optimistic now, which is great for me at least. And hopefully, that will continue through and things will get better. And I sincerely, hope and pray that the situation improves in Palestine. And I know there was like some more talks about a ceasefire agreement. So I hope those go somewhere. And it can be hard, I think, when like I feel like little me, like I barely have control over like the things in my own life, let alone things on a global, like a national or global scale. But just like they say, like, a small pebble can have a big ripple or something like that. So can you. Maybe it's a small stone. I don't know. Whatever. The point is, you might be small, but you could have a big impact. Especially if a bunch of small people make big impacts, like crushing it. And with that weird being said, I am starting to feel rather warm because I realize now I've been recording for like half an hour and I am noticing the lack of air conditioning. So I'm going to call it here. Again, thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, you like this, please give it a thumbs up and be back sometime at the end of next month, at the end of this month, beginning of next month, because I do a monthly live stream every month. And if, eventually maybe I'll do more than one live stream a month, but I don't usually because I'm busy. But, if it's something that people want, I'll do my best. So like the video, comment any feedback or ideas or just anything at all. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you with my next not live video very soon and my next live stream probably in a month. All right. Bye. It's the end of July. Woo woo.